Church Choir.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Carter Work Project opening ceremony, and welcome for those of you who are not from Charlotte. Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Spencer Disher, Board Chair for Habitat of Charlotte Region. and I stand before you today with immense joy and gratitude as we launch the 37th Annual Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter Work Project. Thank you to the Covenant Children's Choir for kicking off tonight's event, and hopefully you, like I, found them to be great. Let's give them another hand. I'll have build this house in my head all this week. I'm proud to call Charlotte my home. I'm inspired by the commitment in our community to make housing more accessible and affordable. I know that you agree that Habitat is certainly a standout in this field, and that the work we do in Charlotte is so vitally important. Thank you for choosing us to be with us tonight and making Habitat's mission a priority in your lives. Now let's keep tonight's program rolling. Please join me in welcoming Catherine Kerr, Senior Associate Minister at Covenant Presbyterian, for tonight's invocation. Covenant is one of our sponsors of this year's Carter Work Project and a longtime supporter of our mission. Welcome, Catherine.
Good evening. I am Catherine Kerr, and I'm one of the pastors at Covenant Presbyterian Church. It is my great honor to be here tonight as we celebrate the launch of this extraordinary undertaking. Like so many other faith communities in Charlotte, Covenant is deeply grateful for our relationship with Habitat for Humanity. Throughout its 40-year history, we've been privileged to work alongside the fantastic Habitat Charlotte staff and other community and civic partners in the quest to end substandard housing and increase homeownership throughout our beloved region. One of my earliest experiences with Covenant Church was before I was a member, before I was a minister, and I was volunteering with Habitat. I was new to Charlotte and new to the church, and someone invited me to a Habitat work day. So one Saturday morning, I found myself up on a roof laying shingles with another young adult member of Covenant named Belcher. Little did we know that some unspoken number of years later, she would be the CEO of Habitat Charlotte Region. Through that experience and many others, I've come to value the connections Habitat helps us make across lines of faith, life experience, and demographics in the pursuit of stable housing for all of God's people. As we launch the Carter Work Project and celebrate those things that draw us together in community, I invite you to join me in a word of prayer. God of all people, as we gather at the start of a remarkable initiative, bringing people from all corners of our community and beyond, together with a common goal, we pause to give thanks for this moment, to remember what has brought us to this place, and to look forward with hope to the future you are building in our midst. We recognize that no effort such as this one can ever be accomplished alone, and so we give thanks for all the hearts and hands which come together to build 27 homes in West Charlotte neighborhoods. We are grateful for the powerful witness of President and Mrs. Carter and Garth Brooks and Tricia Yearwood, for faith communities and civic organizations, for city and county governments, and for the thousands of volunteers who give of themselves for the good of their neighbors. We pray for all those who will live in the homes to be built and for the impact these homes and communities will have for generations to come. Bless all who undertake this project. May they find joy and purpose in their shared labor. May the construction be smooth and safe from start to finish. And may the ripples of this work spread far and wide, bringing hope not just to the Charlotte community, but to all the communities represented here. Amen. Happy birthday, President Carter.
want to thank Catherine for providing such inspiring words to really set the tone for our week together. I'm Laura Belcher. I'm the president and CEO of Habitat Charlotte Region, and I am so honored to welcome you to the 2023 Carter Work Project. This inspiring event brings together individuals from all walks of life, united by a common purpose: to build hope, homes, and a brighter future for families. First and foremost, I'd like to extend our warmest welcome to some distinguished guests that we have in the audience tonight. I believe that we have elected officials from the Mecklenburg County Commission, the Charlotte City Council, the town councils of Huntersville, Mooresville, and Troutman. Thank you for being here. Your presence means a lot. Your presence signifies your commitment to our shared mission, and we are truly grateful for your support. I'd also like to recognize our incredible staff. Hosting an event like this scale requires many hands, and Habitat Charlotte Region's team is outstanding. I'm going to ask them to stand. I think they're over here somewhere. Will the Habitat Charlotte team stand? After over a year of planning, the Carter Work Project is really happening. Whether this is your 37th time or your first time, I'm blown away by the incredible enthusiasm for this year's event. We have amazing support from many sponsors and donors from across the country. Leading the way this year are Bank of America, Lowe's, and Wells Fargo, who each join us as million-dollar sponsors of this event. It is truly a testament to Habitat's work that so many sponsors and volunteers are engaged in this mission. Thank you. Now, Charlotte is known as the Queen City for many reasons. If you're visiting, hopefully you've already experienced some of the good old Southern hospitality. We're known for sweet tea, barbecue, beautiful weather, the Carolina Panthers, the Charlotte Hornets, NASCAR, and an incredible uptown skyline which will be lit blue and green for Habitat tonight. Charlotte consistently ranks top-notch by many measures. We're the 15th largest city in the country, home to 10 Fortune 500 companies. We're the second largest banking center in the US. We're the host to the 6th busiest airport. And we consistently rank in the top 10 places to live in the country. But the statistics do not tell the entire story. Charlotte is a can-do city that cares about its residents and is focused on economic mobility for all. This community has embraced the Habitat business model since 1983, and hosting the Carter Work Project is an acknowledgement of our hard work and commitment to being a leader in the affordable homeownership space. The Carter Work Project, named in honor of the remarkable legacy of President Jimmy Carter and his wife, Rosalynn, is a testament to the power of community, compassion, and collaboration. For decades, President and Mrs. Carter have exemplified what it means to serve with love and dedication. Their tireless efforts to build homes and advocate for affordable housing have not only transformed communities, but also touched countless lives. This year, we gather here in their spirit, and their unwavering dedication, ready to roll up our sleeves, pick up our tools, and make meaningful impact. We're joined by volunteers, staff, donors, partner families, all driven by a shared vision to create a world where everyone has a decent place to live. We're also celebrating our 40th anniversary for Habitat Charlotte Region this year, and I can't think of a better way to acknowledge our work and dedication to helping families in this community than the event of this significance. As we embark on this journey, we are filled with hope, resilience, and the promise of transformation. Together, we will construct not only houses, but 27 homes in West Charlotte where families can thrive, where children can dream, and communities can flourish. In the coming days, as we work side by side, we will forge bonds of friendship and camaraderie. We'll witness the tangible results of our labor as we raise walls and roof homes and build foundations for a brighter future. Let us not forget that our impact extends far beyond the construction site. We're not just building homes, we're building hope, stability, and a sense of belonging for all that we work with. Know that every hand that helps, every heart that cares, every voice that advocates for affordable housing is invaluable to this cause. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you. Your dedication to the Habitat for Humanity Carter Work Project is a testament to the goodness that resides in our communities. Together, we have the power to create lasting change, and the dream of safe, affordable housing can be a reality for more families. So let's move forward with determination and unity, compassion, as we begin this journey, incredible journey. Thank you for being here and being part of this vital mission. I look forward to witnessing the incredible impact we will have together. So thank you, and now a special message from North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper.
Hi everybody, Governor Roy Cooper here. Welcome to North Carolina. Home. So many of us take it for granted. But as you know, too many people are struggling. It's critical that we work to keep families in their homes, as well as help people who don't have a place to find one. For 40 years, Habitat Charlotte region has worked to address housing affordability and availability in our state. It's great to see your leadership on this issue. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without all of the volunteers here today. Thanks for coming out and your help with this effort. Your skills, hard work, and dedication to the cause matter. And I'm going to continue to work hard to make investments in our communities to expand affordable housing. Together, we can build a stronger state for everybody. Thanks for all you're doing, and keep up the great work.
My wife Rosalynn and I have been helping with an exciting organization. This group is Habitat for Humanity. I invite you to join us in this exciting volunteer effort.
The former president and his wife Rosalynn are working side by side.
We'd like to publicize the fact that housing is a very great need.
We looked forward to this for a long time. I know all of you have too.
I'm not ready for that question. Come back later. Come back. How's it going to change my life? I'm not ready for that question.
I mean, it's just grown by leaps and bounds.
It makes you want to go back again and again.
And just to see the expression on their face, they start crying first and then I start crying right behind them. So it's a matter of deep emotion for me.
To own a home brings respect.
Working with me side by side, it's really appreciated.
I want to give a special shout out to Team 5. A big round of applause.
We're going to visit all the homes now just to thank the people for working.
They just lead by example, the kind of people you want to be.
Good luck with your building tomorrow, and if it rains, don't worry about it. Just get wet.
You don't want to be on the House with the Carters and have President Carter walk by and you're not doing something, because he will ask you, you need something to do.
That's true.
By the way, Habitat needs volunteers all year long, and that includes news media people.
Working with Habitat is never a burden. It is always a blessing. It's been a great adventure for us all the way through.
We've been to a lot of countries in the world. We've been to all over the United States. We not only got old, but we've gotten old in our marriage, but it's still full of love.
I would not have known to call Habitat for Humanity if it wasn't for President Carter and Rosalynn Carter. They have become, in their lives, a beacon to show you what needs to be done and how it can be done.
A lot of people from Charlotte have come and said, oh, we thank you, Mr. President, for coming here and all these wonderful things you do. And I said, look, don't thank me. We thank you for making it possible. We've just had a good time. And this has been... And this has been a good time that I shall never forget. And as the one whose name is on this work crew, I want to say that all of you have made me proud. And my hope is that what we have experienced this week will be a constant reminder to us that it need not be so rare. It need not be just maybe 1 week a year. It could be a way of existence. I have learned that in a humble way this week. And I know that you share with me the fact that this is a high point of our lives, that we've been bound together in Christian spirit, and I myself have learned a lot more about Christ this week just by being with you. The work has begun, but it's far from finished.
I told Garth not to cry, and then we had to follow that video, so.
You guys sound like you're ready to work this week. I'm Garth Brooks. This is who President Carter always calls his second favorite Georgia peach, Miss Sherwood. The last thing I want to do with anything is start something with I just hate it when it doesn't. I've tried every way to get around this one. I can't. The guy that did all of my music, first time we ever sang together, he paired her with a producer that would go on to win Grammys. It's a guy named Alan Reynolds. I love Alan Reynolds. He's like a second father to me. 2005, after making all these records, and he'd made them all. He made all the Don Williams records, Crystal Gale's records, forever. He's in Songwriters Hall of Fame. 2005, he decided the music business, it was time for him to get out, and he retired. Broke my heart, loved it, sold the studio to me and Miss Sherwood. So never again would he produce in that studio. But you guys will get this. Every time you walk in that studio, Alan Reynolds is there. Whether he's there physically or not. His rules are still followed. His beliefs, his truths are still spoken and acted upon, and we all act as if Alan Reynolds is still the producer in that building. President Carter and Miss Rosalynn are still here. They've just retired to ride in parades and do things that they want to do. I love them dearly. Their truths, their beliefs, hopefully, please, will be in me tomorrow. And I expect it to be in all of you, in all of us. Because there are works in our lifetime that last longer than we do. Habitat is one of those works if you're lucky enough to get to be a part of it. It's all about love. It's all about neighbors. People, I don't know about you, but I've been in this pandemic way too long. I'm ready to get out and rub some shoulders with some people and get to work. Miss Sherwood is going to speak to you about Miss Rosalynn because particularly I asked her not to say anything about President Carter because he always introduced me as Mr. Yearwood. So, ladies and gentlemen, Tricia Yearwood.
I think the most important thing I could say is, especially in watching that video, is that if you have ever been at a Habitat Bill before, which I know a lot of you have, you know how special it is. But if you've ever been at a Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter work project, it is hallowed ground. And this is a very, very special build. We're not here to try to step into anybody's shoes, because those are shoes that will never, ever be filled. And we do understand that the Carters are watching, so hi, Mr. President, Ms. Rosalynn. I wanted to tell a story about Miss Rosalynn, because I think that from the outside, she's so kind, she's soft-spoken, and it's kind of that steel magnolia thing, right? She is tough, and she works really hard. We have never been on a build where we have not gotten a chance to work alongside the Carters, and nobody bills more, stays longer, works harder than the two of them. So that is something that we are going to do. If we see you, President Carter would famously say, if you're standing around, he would ask you, Garth will tell that story, I hope, if you need something to do. So don't be caught with nothing to do, because you'll get Cartered. We were in Haiti, and you know, sometimes especially when there are women working, a lot of times there are people, men and women, who are like, I've never picked up a drill, I don't know what to do. And Miss Rosalynn was great, especially at encouraging women to just get in there, pick up a drill, pick up a nail gun, do what needs to be done. And I remember working on a house with her in Haiti, where we had these big tools that were to attach the wall to a concrete floor, and it was like a nail gun on steroids. It had this huge nail that had to go into the ground, and it had a kick. And the strong, manly men were doing it, and it had a kick on it. And of course, Miss Rosalynn said, "I'd like to try that." And you don't say no, and she did it. So I just want you all to know that my respect for her is just through the roof. And she is sometimes the loudness gets all the attention, but I think the quiet strength really gets the attention. So I also want to say that we are honored this week to have several staff members from the Carter Center joining us on the build. So please, if you see them, tell them thank you, and we're just honored to be here.
Amen. I don't know about you guys. I came from the middle of America, it's Oklahoma. Educated, not that smart, but educated. You know, just common sense kind of guy. So when I heard on our first bill, the Carters, that their kids would be out with us, I'm thinking, if I'm the president's son, my big butt's going to find a shade tree somewhere. I'm going to kick back and watch everybody work. Worked alongside Becky and Chip. And I'm telling you right now, Miss Sherwood has heard this 1,000 times. It's like, damn. They just keep going and going and going. They never stop. They're always working. We're always side-by-side houses. And you're sitting there and you're busting your butt pretty good. You feel pretty good about your work, and you look over and they're about 2 hours ahead of you. And I just don't know how they do it. But when you watch them work, I love their work ethic so much it makes me love their parents more, if that makes any sense. Because it's the greatest reflection of any parent is their child. And these two people might be two of the best people I ever got to hang with or got to meet. I love these people, and I think they carry the flag and carry it well. Please make welcome Chip and Becky Carter.
This is the Oprah portion.
I love the phrase, you've been Cartered. That's going to be good. I got to ask you, first I just got to ask you, have you been on every one day? I mean, how long have you guys been doing this? How many have you been on?
I went on the first one to New York. My brother Jeff and Amy, we all kind of swapped off, so we didn't go to all the first ones, but one of us was with them all the time. he had elections going on overseas, and one of us went there, and one of us did Habitat for some years. I think this is my 22nd. So Habitat build. It's not the 22nd Carter build because I did some on my own.
Right.
So.
And what year was the New York build?
I don't have any idea. I was a kid. We were right out of the White House.
I don't know. It was in the 70s, I think, wasn't it?
Who knows out there?
84.
84.
Thank you. I knew that. I was just waiting for it.
We had a list of questions that we were given before we came out, and we decided that none of them we wanted to talk about. So one of the questions was if you had any stories you wanted to share about the president and Ms. Rosalynn on a build and what it was like to build with them. And we didn't know if we had any that you wanted to actually share with anybody, but if you wanted to share one that you can tell.
Make sure you tell a nice one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to tell a different story, you know. Dad is a pretty average carpenter when he started this stuff. And he's been back for over 30 of these, and he does something different on every house, and he's gotten better and better and better. This you can do the same thing if you come to 30 of them. and now he's one of the best known carpenters in America. And I want to do something personal here, because my parents, when they got with Habitat to start with, dreamed of what they could do to help Habitat get to be the best it could be. And this is what they came up with. And those of you that have worked with them and helped them over the years and gotten to know them over the years, you've become friends of theirs and people that they respect and honor. And I want to thank you all for helping my parents' dream come true, because it couldn't have happened without the folks in this audience. So thank you.
You're a good builder, too. You saved me in Haiti. I just followed you around like a puppy, and you made me feel like I knew what I was doing. And I watched. Go ahead.
They partnered us. It's one of the highlights of my Habitat experience.
And then I watched you in Nashville a few years ago working on a house and step in the mud in a boot, and the boot stayed in the mud, and so did part of your hip, I think. And they carted you off, and then we looked over in an hour, and you were back building a house. So there's something going on here in the whole Carter family.
Yeah, she walked up and said, "Let's go to work."
It's good. Me and Miss Sherwood were next to your parents in at what is South Bend. You remember this? When they start to get in an argument about a distance to cut a board, me and Miss Sherwood just start kind of moving, keep moving, because the houses were so close to each other. But all I heard her say, and he was, President Carter is very competitive. He'll tell you it's not a race as long as our house gets done first. That's what he'll tell you. He's going and going, and he's chewing on her, and she just quietly waits for the break, and then she says it. You can cut it again, but it'll still be too short. It's just too good. It's too good.
I was about to cut you off. You were going to say something.
The two things that I've learned from them in a build, he wants the quality of the work. We kind of have is it good enough for Jimmy Carter? Which means you don't have to do it 3 times. You do it right the first time. Or you will do it 3 times. And with her, she pays attention to those little details that really make a difference in a home. She looks at those little details and wants something moved just a little bit, or want to add a little detail. And it really makes a difference. So they're good role models that way. We're trying to follow some of their footsteps.
Footsteps are too deep.
Yeah, that's true.
How many people starting Monday will be their first build? All right.
Welcome, welcome.
Very good.
Welcome.
You'll be hooked.
You're going to hurt.
Even you young ones, you're going to hurt.
And you're going to love every ache and pain, believe me. It's fabulous.
Amen, because you're not building houses, building homes. There's a big difference. President Carter always said this: if you go to sleep at night with a roof over your head, you're spoiled. Tomorrow begins more homes, which means more love, more neighbors. That's what it's all about. So proud. I've got to get some swag because our name's on the same shirt with President Carter and Miss Rosalynn.
I know, I'm wearing one right now.
So I don't want to keep you guys here all night, and I don't know how long we're supposed to go.
I think that we're going to do a special, can we sing happy birthday to your dad? Could we do that? Would you guys like to help us do that? Because I think that would be so cool.
Okay. So if we sing happy birthday when it's happy birthday, what do we say?
Mr. President.
Okay. Okay. All right. Everybody get on your feet just like this next week, all right? Holy cow. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Okay.
We'll see you this week. Y'all have fun.
Good evening. I'm Jonathan Reckford, CEO of Habitat for Humanity International, and so thrilled to be in Charlotte, and how fitting and not entirely coincidental that this falls on President Carter's 99th birthday. And what a fitting way to celebrate his birthday. The Carters have been incredible heroes and role models for me. And the number one myth about Habitat for Humanity is that President Carter started and runs Habitat, which largely accrues to our favor. It's not actually true. Habitat started in 1976, but it was a tiny organization. And in 1984, when President and Mrs. Carter and Chip and a busload of volunteers from South Georgia came up and slept in a church basement and rehabbed a tenement building on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, the world found out about Habitat. And that became the first of what became the annual Jimmy, and ultimately the Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter Work Project. And in 2016, we were thrilled to name them our first Habitat Humanitarians. And they have inspired so many. Since then, 104,000 volunteers have helped build or renovate 4,390 homes in 14 countries. That's worth clapping for. And with your help, we're going to add 27 more homes and 1,000 more volunteers to that number. But that really only begins to scratch the surface of the impact the Carters have had. Their example has inspired literally millions around the world to come and get involved. And because of that, collectively, we've now been able to help over 46 million people around the world have new or improved housing, which is pretty remarkable. It is. This is our first time, and it's bittersweet. I sent a note to President Carter to be celebrating, but to be building without them is a first. And we're thrilled to have Chip and Becky with us. Chip was on that first build, and they've been here year after year. And so thrilled to have our next Habitat Humanitarians, Garth and Tricia, come to host this week. And I first got to know them when we did a one-day build in New Orleans to announce that the 2008 Habitat Carter build would be across the whole Gulf Coast to help recover from Katrina. And we have all kinds of celebrities come out to build, but most just want the photo op. They built all day long and then stayed to help clean up at the end of the day. And that's not your typical superstar behavior. And we thought, okay, these are our kind of folks. And it's been wonderful to have them year after year. You've already heard about President Carter's legendary work ethic, and you certainly don't want to be on the receiving end of that commander-in-chief blue-eyed glare if he doesn't think you're working hard enough. And I understand Tricia's working on her glare, so we're going to stay on our toes. Just one quick story. About 6 years ago, which ultimately turned out to be a good thing, we were building 150 homes across Canada for the 150th anniversary of Canada. And we were just lined up for a press conference in Winnipeg when President Carter, working a little too hard, reached down to pick up something and got a little bit dizzy. And out of an abundance of caution, the Secret Service whisked him off into the car and took him to get checked. And unfortunately, this was right before the press conference. So all the cameras were lined up and captured this moment. And President Carter called me quite grumpily from the car. And I asked him, what do you want me to tell the press? And he said, tell them I'm fine and get back to work. Which was just like him. And even though he and Mrs. Carter are not here this week, I know that's what they want us to do. I want to just say a special thank you for all the sponsors, the hard work, and especially to Laura and the wonderful team from Charlotte for hosting us this week. It's going to be an amazing week. We picked Charlotte really for two reasons. One, Habitat of the Charlotte region is one of our lighthouse affiliates. They do incredible work year in, year out, and we're excited to celebrate their 40th anniversary. But second, Charlotte is also typical of a not-so-happy part of the world right now, which is that affordable housing is at a true crisis point in our country and in the world. Now, 1 in 6 families are paying over half of their income on rent or mortgage. And here in Charlotte, prices have almost doubled in the last 5 years. And of course, rent incomes have gone up a little bit, but not nearly far enough. And Habitat believes that no family should be paying half their income to cover their cost of home. So we launched our first ever, with Charlotte and many other affiliates across the country, national advocacy campaign around the cost of home. And as the 5th and final year of that campaign begins, Habitat has contributed to over 300 successful policy changes and unlocked almost $22 billion in government funding to help 6.6 million people have increased access to safe, decent, affordable homes. That's good, but not nearly good enough. And it is, and my hope is that this week is not just an incredible build experience, which it will be, but also that coming out of this week, we'll have another large host of champions who will fight for safe, decent, affordable housing for everyone in their community. Just last comment. How many of you have been on a Carter build before? I couldn't see the hands from back. Quite a few. We have lots of newcomers too. So I have just one favor to ask all of you. We are going to work hard. We're going to have a great time. The team has done unbelievable work preparing, and I think you will have a fabulous experience. It is possible, unlikely but possible, that something might happen this week that's not to your perfect liking. It might be a little hot. You might get blisters. You might get a little sore. There might be the bus might be slow. And it is even okay to identify those things don't meet your perfect satisfaction if you end that identification with, and that's just the way I like it. And then we will all have a better time together. I think my all-time favorite was in Haiti. We were all camping, and an intrepid volunteer came out of the shower with a slightly big-eyed look saying, "My, that's a large tarantula in the shower." Pause, and that's just the way I like it. We are going to have a great week. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, and it is my great honor to introduce Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles. Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you so very much. And I do think it's still evening out here. But more importantly, as I stand here on this stage, it is truly my honor to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Habitat for Humanity and to all of you who are the amazing and dedicated people that are going to work with Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter's work project this week. Give yourselves a hand. I want to thank you in advance of your blisters and the other things that are going to happen. We do not have what kind of bug was that? That we were going to have other big kind of bugs, so just be careful. But I want to say thank you for what you're going to do. I also want to talk a little bit about our own city, Charlotte, a city that values compassion and collaboration. And we have a belief that every individual deserves a safe and stable home. We recognize the profound impact that affordable housing has on the well-being and the success of our residents. Today, I stand before you to affirm the City of Charlotte's unwavering commitment to maintaining and creating affordable housing. We recognize as a city council, that we believe that safe and stable housing is not just a necessity, but a fundamental right for every individual and family that lives in our community. I want to thank Habitat for Humanity and the many other community partners that we have for the significant strides that we are making on this critical issue. Charlotte is growing like a lot of other cities, and we are facing the challenge of an affordable housing crisis. We understand that housing is not just about building structures, it is about building community. And that's why we are investing in mixed income developments that promote diversity, inclusivity, and a sense of belonging. By creating neighborhoods that are economically diverse and offer a range of creative housing options, we're fostering a stronger and more resilient community so that everyone has the chance to thrive. We're investing in supportive services such as counseling, job training, education to empower individuals and families to break the cycle of poverty and achieve upward mobility. So I want to read a part of Charlotte City Council's proclamation honoring this week. Mr. President and Ms. Rosa, I hope that you are listening and hear deeply how much we believe in this. Habitat Charlotte Region has served the community for 40 years by providing families safe, secure, and affordable places that they can call home in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, therefore, I, Vi Alexander Lowes, Mayor of Charlotte, do hereby proclaim October 1 through 6, 2023, as the Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter Work Project Week in Charlotte and commend its observation to all citizens, especially those of you who are going to make it happen. Thank you, Governor Cooper, for your support, and of course, thank you for the people that are going to make this really a lot of fun for the evening, Garth Brooks and Tricia Yearwood, for the drawing attention to this issue and their own personal commitment. And now the real reason that we're here tonight, as we get ready to roll up our sleeves and build the week ahead, please join me in acknowledging our partner families. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Ivory Wallace and Brianna Stanford, Habitat homeowners in progress. I want to congratulate both of you for your hard work and dedication to becoming homeowners. We're really glad for you. And I share this proclamation with you on behalf of the city of Charlotte, and I hope that you will have a place for it in your new home. You know, there's a song that says, "This is why you do it, this is why we do it." But I also want you to know that several Habitat homeowners are in the audience tonight, some of them even from the Carter Work Project that was held in Charlotte in 1987. So if you are one of those people, please stand and be recognized. You represent hope. You represent what makes the city a great place to be, that we care and that we can be a can-do place. So let's hear more about Habitat Charlotte Regional's commitment for the last 40 years to building homes, building community, and keeping hope in this video feature. Thank you very much.
In 1983, a group of passionate individuals had a vision of safe, decent, and affordable housing for all. They founded what we know today as Habitat for Humanity of the Charlotte region.
I represented Covenant on a group of churches. It was called the Jeremiah 29/7 Alliance for Ministry, and this was a group of churches that was looking for ways to do ministry in a project that was too big for any of us to do on our own.
Walks of life came forward to support the mission, including actor Paul Newman.
In 1983, Habitat for Humanity of Charlotte started building homes in Optimist Park in Northeast Charlotte. The homes are modestly designed. The workmanship is quality.
In 1991, the innovative minds of the Regional Habitat Charlotte affiliate dreamt up the first ever Women Build, construction of a home for a single mother built by women for women.
And my family service director, Darlene Jonas, and one of our volunteers, Ruth Martin, Darlene and Ruth said, "Hey, we got her idea." I go, "What's your idea?" Said, "Next build, Women Build." I guess it was Ruth reached out to Rosalynn Carter and said, "Would you come?" And she wrote back and said, "Yeah, I'm free in May."
Habitat Charlotte region has rallied thousands of volunteers, donors, and supporters. Together, we've served more than 4,000 families. For these families, Habitat's impact goes far beyond the walls of their homes. It's about finding pathways to economic stability, creating generational wealth, and building stronger and more vibrant communities.
When you're not concerned about where you're going to lay your head, there's so many other things you can accomplish. Well, it gave me purpose.
Habitat for Humanity of the Charlotte region isn't just building houses. It's transformed entire communities, and it has changed lives. As we celebrate 40 years of impact, we continue to dream big. We will have 4 new communities under construction in the next 2 years, and will repair nearly 250 existing homes. More than 150 new homeowners will move into their own homes as a result of the generosity of people like you. The work we do today, tomorrow, next week, and next year will pave the way for families to achieve the dream of affordable homeownership. And if the past is any indication of what the future holds for us, the next 40 years will mean even greater things for our region. Habitat for Humanity of the Charlotte region. 40 years of building home, community, and hope.
we have a special treat. Tonight I'm thrilled to invite local artist, storyteller, and poet, Hannah Hussein, to join us. We've asked Hannah to create a piece that is being shared tonight for the first time. It's a special message, special to our homeowners as we start our week. Please enjoy Blessed Homes on Blessed Land.
Good evening. I had a beautiful opportunity a couple of years ago to interview some folks from the Optimist Park community that was a part of the Carter Work Project back in the 80s. And I interviewed a man there named Mr. James Atkinson, and he spoke about this community and how much it meant to him, and how much the Carter Work Project meant to him. And something that he said that has never removed from my memory was that these were blessed homes on blessed land. And he said it just like that many times. When I wrote this poem, I wrote it with all of you who will be moving into your blessed homes on blessed land in mind, and in honor of Mr. James Atkinson, who has since passed away. This is a blessing many years in the making. Before there were 39 homes, before this community was conceptualized, there were young people, students, simply children at the nexus of keeping this community alive. Plato Price School once stood home to this land. More than a place for learning and education, it was a school that built a solid foundation that reminded young Black people that their future was worth saving, that their stories were worth celebrating. This was more than a school. This was a safe haven. And this land was rooted in dreams, in community building, in love, and in learning how to take minimal and maximize its potential. Plato Price School was a living metaphor of how we take the least and turn it into a thing monumental. And when those doors eventually closed, when the last light switch was flipped, when the final buildings were gone, the memories were maintained, the legacy remained, the vision would become clear. 39 homes, 39 families, 39 sets of brand new memories of sweat, equity, of helping to build from the ground up what would one day become home, of putting in the hours that would turn a plan into a house, of showing up for yourself and your family, of building community from the inside out. And these homes are not handouts. They were built with helping hands, with the force of heart that heals and understands and that grows a community in only the way that community can. These are blessed homes on blessed lands. And the memories that will be grown here, the dreams that will be visualized, the love that will find its home here will be grown from the inside. And I dream for each family that lives in this community a future lived fully, courageously, intentionally. I dream for you furniture inside of your home that reflects your unique style. I dream for you pots and pans and dishes in your kitchen that make your cooking and your eating worthwhile. I dream for you memories made around the dining table with conversations about the things that matter. I dream for you movie nights crowded in the living room, filling your home with joy and laughter, with music and chatter. I dream for you quiet in the early mornings waking up in your bedroom, reflecting on the day ahead. I dream for you busy nights, home after getting the kids from school and activities, prayers, and preparation for the next day before laying down for bed. I dream for you the opportunity to have friends over, to share time with you in the home that you have built, to marvel over the life that you have created. I dream for you the internal knowing and understanding that this home is a reality that deserves to be celebrated, honored, held in the greatest of esteem. For you have visualized this goal, so now you have permission to move on to grander dreams. And in this ground is the key to your generational wealth, the passing along of an asset that has staying power. There is a truth that will remain even on your darkest days, even in your most challenging hour. You own a home that your hands help to build, that you invested your time for, your resources in. This dream is real, and it has been bought and paid for with the stories and history of what once was Plato Price School, now the Meadows at Plato Price. A transition of legacy, education, now community. What a beautiful story. What a magnificent life. This is a blessing that was many years dream fulfilled, and it was yours for the taking. So you take this, your home, and you care for it as deep and as intentional as you can. For this moment, it's yours. You own it. A blessed home on blessed land.
Told you you're in for a treat. Thank you, Hannah. That was amazing. This has been an amazing start to our week. I'm so excited for all that is to come. And I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Now we're going to wrap up here. So those of you in the audience, if you hang on just for another minute.